Welcome back. You are still with us on this glorious Tuesday morning. Choose to be awesome Tuesday. And on Tuesdays, obviously, we do talk everything books. And I'm joined in the studio by Audrey Chirenje. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, lovely lady. I was listening to you earlier on about the hair.
Oh, wow, yes.
Yes, I used to have dreadlocks once upon a time.
Yeah.
I'm going to have them again.
You're going to have them again. What would be your point of change again?
I've got a certain age, I won't say it, where when I hit that age,
Yeah.
I'm going to switch back to natural hair.
Is it?
Yeah.
And that's just your resolve?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Not to say it's bad or it's to...
No.
It's just a you thing.
Yes, to each their own.
To each their own, hey?
Yes.
And we celebrate everyone.
100%.
Excellent. And we always celebrate women as well. And one of the women that are impactfully changing the narrative, changing communities is Imelda Tsumba. And she's written this book. I mean, I'm looking at this book, very lovely. She excels them all is the title of the book that Imelda Tsumba wrote. And it's basically the Proverbs 31 woman. Now, we were speaking off air with Audrey. She was telling me her views personally on what this book meant to her.
Yeah. First of all, let's just congratulate Imelda. This is book number 53. I mean, come on.
That's a lot of books.
That's a lot of books. And I like the way she talks about how she wrote her first book after she lost her son.
Yes.
And from that process, trying to grieve, trying to come to terms with that, she wrote her book. And then she wrote like 6 books in 6 months.
Yeah.
So, yeah, congrats to you,
Yeah.
awesome lady. Yes.
She has a lot. She is filled with the Holy Spirit. She is filled with knowledge. She's filled with wisdom. She has great understanding, and she's a great author. And you know, this book that we are holding, we're discussing this one, just recently released.
Yes, actually on Saturday,
On
the
Saturday.
26th of July.
Right.
That's when this book was launched. So it gets its emphasis from the Proverbs 31 woman, and it starts with who can find such a virtuous wife, you know, who is far more precious than rubies. So from our discussion earlier on, I know how people always talk about, Proverbs 31 woman, but I always say, do people actually know what it means?
What it means.
Because this woman in this verse talks about how she owns land,
Right.
yeah? So she's wealthy
Yeah.
in her own personal capacity, you know? She's got maid servants in the plural, not just
Not
one.
just one maid, yeah.
She's got businesses, the linen, she's got profitable relationships, so she networks, she's a mentor, she's all these things, powerful. And lastly, it talks about how her husband is praised because of her. So I know people always talk about, I know there's always this debate about submission and women with money and things, but this is the Proverbs 31 woman that the king was advising his son to look for.
Right.
Yeah.
And listen, this woman, okay, looking at this day and age, can we find a woman like this?
There are lots of them, but they're difficult to find. And like from what you're saying, people have this certain perception that they have. But this is the woman. So I know, like, you know, when you're talking about the debates these days, they'll say people with things, people with jobs, you know, powerful jobs with money are difficult.
Yeah,
but
they don't submit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this is the type of woman we're talking about.
Yeah.
She's got all these things, but she's still lovely. She's still precious than rubies, and her husband still celebrates her. And her husband is even praised because of her.
Because of her. How does one get to be a Proverbs 31 woman? You know, I know we'll read it in the Bible and it's there, instruction is there, but how do you get there? Because some of the things are unattainable. Talk, for example, land. Okay, land right now is expensive. Okay, I have my job, I want to earn land, and I want to be the Proverbs 31 woman. Does that exclude me from Proverbs 31 if I don't own any land?
No, not at all.
So it's various points that I need to take.
Various points. So like if you look at the lessons that Imelda talks about, she talks about how she's a blessing to others. That's a separate point. She's delightful. That's her attitude and approach. She's balanced. So it's not just about things like material things. She's a good financial steward. So even if she has little, she takes good care of that amount. She makes wise investments. And you know, investments, it's not just about money. It's your time, your relationships, your network. And someone was saying, show me your friends and I'll show you the color of your money. So it's also part of that. She's a giver. She's healthy. You're always talking about how you need to look after your health. Yeah. She's a leader. She plans and prepares for the future. She's a teacher, you're a teacher, she fears the Lord, she's friendly. So it's all these things, all of them.
I think all these attributes really amount to basically from when you're a small child to, progressively getting to be an adult and a grandmother, grandfather, or whatever it is. Because some of these points that you're highlighting is, at any given time, I know I have seasons where I'm really wise and I make the wise decisions. I know I have seasons where I'm really working hard. And, sometimes we might bombard ourselves and think you must just be this woman in one go. But I think it's progressive. It's things that you add on to yourselves, and it's things that we learn as well on the way. And I think Imelda highlights that in this book.
Yes, and I like the word that you used. It is progressive, and it's a lifestyle.
Right.
So it's a step-by-step process, not like just one thing. And I like the quote that Imelda gave us. It says, when you don't know the way a thing was designed or created, in brackets, its purpose, abuse is inevitable.
Right.
And she was talking about women, how, people don't really understand women, and there's a lot of perception, a lot of debates. And that's how come there's also that abuse, because people don't understand the purpose of a woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's seek to understand. So if you are not intentionally seeking to understand why is Audrey the way that she is, I'm always going to abuse the wonderful woman that you are. And I'll never, it's like, there's a pastor of mine who told me one day that if I just come and say, I will only get that side of you. I won't get if I say, oh, good morning, ma'am. How are you today? What a beautiful, if I honor you as an individual, not idolize you, but if I give you honor, I will receive the goodness that honor brings out of you into myself. Is that something that you've noticed?
That is actually very true. And just to add on to that, after reading this book, I couldn't help but just, how they say behind a powerful man is a virtuous, they say powerful woman, but for me, I've now replaced it to say there's a virtuous woman. And then likewise, behind a powerful woman, there is a confident and humble man. Because you see, we have, like if you look at Pastor Imelda's husband, Pastor Leo, very powerful and confident in his own right. But he's always supporting his wife. At these book launches,
he's always there.
Always there, always running
loving.
around. So it takes someone who's actually confident and very humble to do this.
And Audrey, it's a journey. Do you know what I mean? It's a journey. Sometimes you have long stretches to get to your destination, and sometimes it's just a two-step destination as well. And I don't know, what do you think of how we are as society in regards to getting to the place, for example, where Pastor Leo is?
I think, like you're saying, it's a journey. So people are always quick to comment, judge, and judge on things that they actually don't understand. Right. And so, like you're rightly saying, it's a journey. And even someone will look at Pastor Imelda and say, she's written 53 books. But if you don't get the fact that her first book actually came from a place of pain
and hurt,
and then from this, she's always talking about how God created us with a lot in us, and we must leave the earth empty. We must pour out what God created us to do on this earth. And just lastly, I know we're almost out of time. The book is $20.
Right.
For now, you can get it direct from her. She's on social media, all platforms, Imelda Tsumba, the Proverbs 31 woman, or you can call her direct on 0772 400 517 and get a copy of this book or her other 52 books that she has.
And it's phenomenal. Look, I can't say anything more than phenomenal. Pastor Imelda, well done for the books that you've written. And I love this little bookmark because it's affirmations as well. And it's reminding you of your identity as a woman, who you are. And she's got 31 of them on this little bookmark and 22 great chapters enlightening that you can delve into a world of really discovering who you are as a woman. And as I did say, it's a journey. It's not done overnight.
It's a journey and
right.
It's a process.
So we did say the book is $20.
Chete.
And we get it from Imelda Tsumba directly on her social media handles.
Yes.
As Imelda Tsumba is her social media handles.
Yes.
And also her phone number.
It's 0772 400 517.
517. And email address which one is her email address? Does she have one?
So
here.
there's also Instagram, the Proverbs 31 woman, and then she's on Facebook, she's on LinkedIn, she's also on TikTok, very modern, and she's on Twitter.
Wow. Even the modern lady, modern is also one of them. So that's fantastic. Audrey, thank you so much for discussing this book with us. A great read, as you did say. I mean, just reading Proverbs 31 in itself, you can have your own production theatre just from that wealth of information that comes from the Bible as well.
She actually wants to make this into a film, so we're very excited about that.
Very excited about
Yeah.
this as well. That's very good. Great. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
And we'll
Marissa.
see you again next week. Don't be a stranger, please, ma'am.
Always a pleasure. I'll definitely be here.
All right, that's all we have for today's book review, where we were reviewing She Excels Them All. Make sure you get your copy.